All right, guys, welcome back to the live stream. We are wrapping up the Nomadic cooling 48 volt install. We're going to go in the van. I'm going to show you. Actually, hold on. I got to fix that camera. Stand by. There we go. Okay, we're going to go in the van. I'm going to show you what I did yesterday. Off camera. So I finished up sealing the whole entire unit, and let's get some photos going here. All right, so here you go. You can see this is the opening, and what I wanted to show you guys is my solution to the intake and the exhaust for the AC unit. My concern was I saw a lot of installs where they're taking raw air from this ceiling is open. So if you have Havelock wool or like a rock wool or something, all that dust and fibers, it's technically going to be sucked up into the intake of this AC unit. And so for me, just peace of mind, and because I just think it's the right thing to do, I went ahead and I did do my Havelock insulation all the way around here very well, because this is going to be a place where we have a massive difference in temperature, which is possible to create condensation in the van. So what I did is I did the Havelock around this whole entire area, and then where you see this metal foil tape, I used that to seal this chamber on the intake from sucking up anything in the ceiling area. And I think it's important, and I would recommend that you guys do the same. And then on the exhaust side, where this is where it blows out the cold air, let's see if I can pull up another photo. So right here, it doesn't have to be the neatest thing in the world. The goal is to make sure that you are sealing this area from any of the sheet metal, the insulation. Kind of think of this as, it's really like your output duct on your home. This has the possibility to sweat and condense because the air coming out of here may be so cold. Like you might be using this to, you have a hot van and you're ready to cool it down a lot. My recommendation is if you're in a situation where your van is that hot, that you start the engine, let the engine AC, drastically cool the interior down. And then when you get it to a reasonable temperature, then turn your air conditioning unit on. There's no reason to have this thing just work its butt off to get the whole entire van down from like 120 degrees, for example. So what I've done is I've taken that foil and I've just neatly took my time and taped everything off. So technically you could take a spray bottle, wet this whole thing down, and it's not going to go into any part of the ceiling area. It's going to, both of those spaces are separate. So that's what I worked on, and this is what the final product looks like. So we have this massive side right here, which is the intake side. And then they give you this piece of foam. It's just got double-sided tape on one side, and then I custom cut it around our supports. And then I get left just about a 1/16 of an inch kind of poking out here so that when I put the grill on, we've got a really good seal. And then this bottom section is the section that I'm most concerned about, any type of condensing with like a really humid environment. And one reason I like going this far is it gives me peace of mind. I don't have to worry that John and Susan are going to have any type of moisture issues if they take a trip down to Florida, it's really humid, or wherever they go. If this does start to sweat, which it probably will, it's not the end of the world, but I know that this is completely sealed, and once it dries out, it's going to be fine. It's not going to affect the wood. Also, the nice thing is using cedar. Cedar's just pretty much going to take care of itself to an extent, but this is now completely sealed and I can check it off the list. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hop in the van, plug all the wires in, and then let's see, what did I want to do? I wanted to do one last pass through of the instructions in case you guys are new to this instruction manual. So to prepare the roof, we cut out a 14 by 14 inch hole. We used Nomadic. Let's see here. Let me pull this up. We used DIY van. So we use DIY Van's Ford Transit high and mid roof vent adapter. So this gave us a nice flush surface to mount the AC unit on. We didn't have to use a bunch of sealant to make up for the difference in the channel. This is a 3D. It's CNC machined, so it's the curves and contours fill up all those gaps. So we don't have to just put a ton of sealant on there. So we use that. We use the foam gasket that came with Nomadic cooling, and it has a double-sided 3M adhesive that peels off and just sticks to the bottom of this unit, and that's our main seal. Then yesterday we took black RTV. We put a light 2 passes around here, and we let it sit down on there. I like the RTV because it doesn't cure. Only cures for takes 24 hours for it to cure, so you got time. You got working time. The crossbars, we made our own crossbars out of 1-inch aluminum. So we did a custom install on that because we have a low-profile roof, and these are they're too long, number one, and where the ends are, it doesn't seat flush to the bottom of the van. It kind of pokes out about a 1/2 inch. We also went through here and made sure we go through the electrical. The 10 gauge wire coming from the Nomadic cooling unit, just heads up, that's a 10 gauge wire coming out. If you're doing the EcoFlow setup like we are, the wire coming from the EcoFlow is a 6 gauge wire. So just be prepared to have some type of connector that can interact with both of those gauges. What I used was this Anderson plug that is designed for 6 gauge wire. And then what I had to do was, since the 10 gauge was thinner, I just had to really crimp it down hard on there. And then I heat shrinked all these terminals, and that worked out just fine. So you can see in one of these photos, which one? So you can see in this photo, I've got the Anderson connector here. And then what I did was I put electrical tape just as a backup plan so this doesn't vibrate loose over time. Going back to the specifications, right here we need a 30 amp fuse. So I put a 30 amp fuse in line with the cable prior to plugging it into the unit. So the supply 48 volt power cable has a 30 amp fuse in it. And this is the one that I used right here. It's pretty much car audio style fuse. So it's very easy to get if you need it in a pinch. So more on that. Here is the bar on this left-hand side. You will have to peel the tape away, undo 2 bolts to get this bar out of the way in order to access the fuse. But it's just tape. You can retape it, and then 2 bolts, put it back into place. It's really the best solution because it's extremely rare that this fuse is ever going to blow. I mean, even for the life of the unit. It's really just, again, the fuses protect the wire in case of a short. Let's see what else we got. We did our rust preventative. We sealed everything with lap sealant. So we used 3M window weld to glue down this Ford Transit vent adapter. And then once that was down, I used lap sealant to go around the exterior. We use this leveling strip. So it's just a piece of foam in the back that helps distribute the load. It's not as aggressive as if you got the X3 unit. The X2 is not that heavy, but this foam strip, I put that in. It comes with a kit. So we have a couple of sensors here. We have an air in and an air out sensor on the plug that we'll show you guys in just a second, which is right here. The white wire is going to be the air out sensor. So you're going to plug this wire right here into that. The big chunky one is the control panel, and that's pretty much it. Now I did zip tie. I'll show you in the video here when we get in the van, but I did zip tie the air in temperature sensor to the board. They just recommend that so it doesn't flop around or rattle. We connected our DC power, so that's good to go. We're going to get ready to put in this powder-coated trim ring with the control board that's snapped into it. And then if you want to know how everything is wired, they do give you a schematic on here. And then this little blue box, that is the 30 amp fuse that we installed, inline fuse. It does not come with this kit unless you order a DIY kit. I ordered the Pro kit, so it didn't come with some things in here. So, for example, it didn't come with this wire since we're doing the EcoFlow. But if you get it with a bundle, it's going to come with that fuse in line already. And let's see, almost done. Schematic. Yeah, so one of these wires is the air in. That is a wire that I zip tied to one of these chunkier wires just so it wouldn't vibrate. Yeah, these are just different options. This is the board we're going to be using, the 48 volt. And that's pretty it. So let's hop into the van. We've got our 4 holes pre-drilled. So that should go pretty smooth. Now, the screws you're going to see, they're not black. They're not painted black because I have some that are drying right now. So these are just going to be some silver screws just as a placeholder so we can knock out this video. But let's go inside and go ahead and change mics over. There we go. So we'll screw this in and plug everything up, and that's it. We will move on to next part of the van build. So if you guys can see here, let me turn the camera down. Okay. So when you have this control board, it's pretty much just going to snap into place. It's just got four plastic snaps. And I'm just going to leave this on here so it doesn't get scratched up. We've got our divider, we get our front exhaust, and then our intake. And then here is that intake temperature. So you see I just zip tied it here so that this doesn't flap around, but it still gets our intake temperature. Here is an inline fuse. It's going to take a second to see what size this fuse is. We have a 7.5 amp fuse. Okay, so 7.5 amp fuse for the circuit board. And then we're just going to have, all right, so I'm going to have to go back to I forgot which one of these is the right one to plug it into. So I'm going to go check that really quick. And then we just got this plug that goes into the main plug. All right, let's check the manual and see what that was supposed to be. Oh, it's already pulled through the wiring harness. Okay, it's already plugged in. So this, gotcha, okay. So it's already plugged in. So this is the wire going here. This one on the very right side is this one. So this will plug in here. So that was pretty self-explanatory, but these wires look strong enough to actually support this, so should be all right. Okay, wires look good. Then let's do this. Let's plug this one in. Okay, so we've got all that in there. So I want to have this stuff pushed up to the right side so it's out of the way. And yeah, it's pretty much just going to live up there. If there's some type of noise, I mean, definitely you can reposition it, but it should be fine. The most important thing, I don't know if I can show you, but the circuit board and the divider, this right here is where that foam piece needs to go. And so when you pre-drill these holes, you need to make sure that you're not binding against these vents or binding against the circuit board. And if you're doing this solo, just make sure that you have all your screws easy to grab. Now I've only pre-drilled through my cedar so I don't crack it, but my underlayment, the 1/4 inch underlayment for the ceiling, I left that so that it goes in and bites really well. Now again, we're just putting silver screws in here just to show you the install in this video. Then I'm going to go back through and put the fancy black painted screws in. And I'm not screwing this in the whole way, it's for the YouTube. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty much it. There's not that much adjustment, so you really need to make sure your visual lines are pretty much set because you're not going to be able to move this that much. So I've got, this is my center line screws with my center vent. So that looks good. My buttons. And then my rear piece. But again, I'm not binding here at all. So once I get these side ones put in, I'm not going to drill them yet. I'm just again, just doing this for the video. But as far as the install, it's not as bad as I thought. I thought it was going to take me much longer to seal that part up the way that I like it to be sealed. But now that it is, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. That's it. The next thing, everything is wired. So the only thing left would be to power it on with the EcoFlow. We'll do that when we do the electrical install, which is coming up soon. But that is the Nomadic, sorry, good Lord. Nomadic Cooling X2 48 volt rooftop AC. Yep. And let's grab this bag. I'll show you what extras that you get that I haven't opened this up yet because there's no reason to. And actually I forgot that there are black screws, so I'll pre-drill these holes and I'll go ahead and use these if they look good. But yeah, so it does come with some washers and some other bits and pieces. So, and it also comes with a remote. So that's one of the nicer parts of it. But I'm gonna keep this little kit for John and Susan, and that way it's nice and new. They can open it up and we can all test it. But yeah, the top is done. It's all sealed. Bottom is put in. Yeah, I just like to wait to final do this because until the power system's in, I might need to actually take this off and, I don't know, unplug it, reset it, do something like that. I have no idea. But that is the AC install. All right. Yeah, so not a full tutorial install, but I think you guys get the point. If you have any questions, you can definitely put those in the comments section below and we can do a video on it. But as simple as the AC is, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I definitely want you guys to check out Van Builder HQ. If you've not already checked out the website, we have a bunch of blog articles on all kinds of stuff from floor step and trim ideas, camper van awnings, the best camper van inverter, heaters for campers, and these are from all the events I go to throughout the year. So whether I'm a vendor going as Odyssey Custom Vans or I'm going there to do a VBHQ video, I take all that information, I come back and we go through and we write a nice organized article going through different options that will help you out. For example, this is the diesel heater I installed in my personal van. Then we have the Evo 40, which is in the adventure van build that we have that is currently for sale. And then down here we have the Webasto Smart Temp, which is not only going in the adventure van, but also in John and Susan's van. It's a Bluetooth controller for the heater. But yeah, we go through and just break everything down for you to help you out. You can also go and click on our link to check out, go up here. If you go to the home page, there's a link, download the free cheat sheet. So this cheat sheet over here, click on that. This is the DIY van build cheat sheet. It is the last 3 years of all of my Amazon purchases for the shop. It is organized and it's completely free for you guys to help you out. It's got over 250 curated items on there. They're organized from air conditioner, water pump, solar panels, MC4 connectors, special crimpers that I use in the shop. The tools section is great because it's all the weird tools that I've bought over the last couple of years that have helped me build vans. This sheet is completely free. It's basically just an Excel sheet that I've organized, and it's free to help you guys with your next van build. And yeah, just put your name and email address, come right to your inbox, and I think it'll really help you out. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this live stream today. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick stream wrapping up the Nomadic Cooling X2. I have no idea why I keep confusing those. I was chatting with the Nomadic rep at the Southeast Adventure Vehicle Expo, and yeah, that's probably why I keep talking about that. Anyway, if you guys have questions, put those in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Share it to anybody who needs a little overview of the Nomadic Cooling 48-volt rooftop unit. I think it's great. I'm looking forward to plugging it into the EcoFlow, powering it on for a whole entire day or two to see what the electrical use is of it. So pretty excited about that. And until next time, we'll see you guys in the next live stream.